Good afternoon. Welcome to Stringman Guitars. We're here in the underground lair, and we have a Paul Westerberg, I think. Yeah, Paul Westerberg model PW580 first act guitar. Evidently, this guy who was a guitarist for the Replacements went and bought one of these at Walmart or something and played it, and it sold for between $60 and $80 on Amazon and Walmart, and because he played it, it turned into a signature model, and now they're selling for $400 on Reverb and eBay. So got a guy who's a big fan of Paul's, and he wants me to set this up. It's got really sharp fret ends, so I'll give you a look at it. First thing we're going to have to do is check the truss rod cover to see if that even works before I do anything. So let's get at it. Alright, here it is in all its glory. First act. Buddy wanted to keep the strings on it, but in order to do these fret ends, and there's also, from what he's saying, some binding on the strings. Not to mention, it's probably, string height's probably too high, which it is. Plus the frets need polished. Yeah, the nut's going to have to come down some. So, yeah, let's get this truss rod cover off of here. Yeah, when a guy called me, he says, I need you to set up my guitar. What kind is it? First act. I thought he was kidding. But evidently, they have a signature line of guitars, and this is one of them. So I guess they have some legit stuff. My question is there even a truss rod in there? And has it been messed with? Appears to be there. And it appears to have not seen a wrench yet. I guess we're going to find out what kind of scale we're dealing with here. I'm going to venture to say it's a Fender scale. Yes, sirree, Bob. Fender scale. Alright. So Fender scale wants 10,000ths of relief. And here's my 10. Actually looks like the could be loosened just a hair. I guess it's a 4mm. Okay, got a little bit of an adjustment there. I don't think it needed that much. Okay, that did it. So, he wanted me to keep the strings, but there's no way to do the job right on this without taking the strings off. So that's what we're going to do. I'll be right back. Okay, strings are off, and in order to get at these sharp fret ends, the neck has to come off. Okay, so it would appear that we have a basswood body with a maple neck and a rosewood fingerboard. We tightened up the nuts on the tuners. Let me get rid of the towel so we can do some filing. Get some of this pointy stuff out of the way. And I've got a special file for this. I always put a hunk of tape over the nut so I don't go busting the nut off of the end of the fingerboard, since that's not where we're working to begin with. And see what this is a it's an angled file on a plastic block. It gives you the proper angle. To do the work you want to do. Clean up the card. Use a card file to clean up the mess. And it only goes on here one way. It grinds down all the extra metal that's hanging over the end. Okay, so that's way better, and you can see all the metal filings down in here. You turn around and do it again. For some reason on this guitar it's much worse from the 12th fret up. Alright. All kind of metal filings. Alright, and that takes us to our second special file, which is right here. and it takes the sharp edge off of the rounded edge you just made. See? Oh yeah, way better. Has a safe edge on it so you don't go tearing up your binding. And what we'll do is we'll clean the wood with some simple green, and we'll oil the fingerboard. Looks pretty thirsty to me. Alright everybody, we got our frets nice and clean on the ends, and as you can see we put a nice shine on the frets and cleaned, then oiled the fingerboard, fretboard, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to restring it with some Ernie Ball 942s and get her set up. Where'd the piece go here? Ah, here it is. They use this piece of brass to hold the strings in the back, which is different from what I'm used to. But I've seen it on other guitars. It works, you know. Don't knock it if it works. And also it looks like the body is made out of basswood or some other fast-growing wood. Nothing wrong with that. I got a Fender bass made out of basswood. Alright. We got strings. I'm going to take a little bit of guitar grease, and he said he was having, Buddy said he was having tuning stability issues. Part of that is the slots in the nut are not cut wide enough. So we fixed that. And there was no lubrication in here at all. This is a graphite paste that I guess you can get it other places. I bought it at the Evil Empire, Stumac. I believe they find good tools, put their name on it, call it done. So you put this graphite paste everywhere there's going to be a contact point with the strings, and that helps with your tuning stability. Okay, we're strung up. Stretch the strings in. Not a lot of stretching you can do on the plain strings. End up just breaking them. Bring it back up to 10. Stretch these wound strings one more time. I'll let it sit and come up to let the neck adjust to having tension on it again after doing all the fretwork. Okay, and let it sit here under string tension. Come back and check it in about an hour and then finish the setup. Alright everybody, we got back in the cold underground layer here. We have our string height set to 4/64 at the 12th fret. We have new strings on here. We fixed the sharp fret ends. We adjusted the height at the 1st fret, string height at the 1st fret, because it was way up. So it's set, the E, A, D is set at 20 thousandths. The G and the B are at 19 thousandths, and the high E is at 18 thousandths. So once again, I'm going to let it sit as I bring it up to pitch one more time. Well, it's holding pitch really well now. And I put the graphite in there. It's nice and slippy. Alright, then pickup height, which it's going to be goofy. Let's see where it is now. I'm sure it's way low. Yeah, let's fix the pickup height. See which way it goes. There we go. There we are. Bring the high side up a little bit. Still not there. There we are. Double check the low side, because one oftentimes will, yeah. Affect the other. Perfect. And just for the heck of it, let's see if we won the intonation lottery. Oh! String action was way too low too. It was at like 3/64. What was that, flat? Flat. Move that forward some. Getting there. Just remember that intonation is not an exact science, because depending on how you hold your guitar in your playing position, it may be different than the A's in, may be different than how I hold it. So the best you could do is do it in an upright playing position. Yeah, how about that? Half of the strings were intonated. A pickup height set. I'm going to let it sit. I have to take some cookies to the in-laws for Christmas and let it sit and double check it in the morning and it'll be good to go. Alright, welcome back to the underground lair. We've got our relief set. Everything's set to Fender specs. We have intonation here at the bridge. We have the Stumac guitar grease, which is a graphite paste in the saddles as well as in the nut here. New strings, polished, and polished the frets and got rid of those evil fret ends. Remounted the neck. Got the string height at 4/64 across the board. Got the pickup height properly set. And what does this thing sound like? Holding tune now that everything is lubricated and cleaned up. So we're going to let it sit out overnight. Call Buddy in the morning. Call Buddy in the morning. Tell him to come and get his first act. Can't remember the dude's name. Paul something. Anyhow, it's a player. The only thing I would change on this is maybe a different set of tuners. But Sounds like rock and roll to me. Thank you guys for joining us for another adventure in Stringman Guitars in the underground lair here. With the COVID being as bad as it is, please take care of your neighbor. Be nice to people outside when you're out and about, when you have to be. If you don't have to be, stay in. A lot of people talking about freedom and infringement on freedoms, making me wear a mask. Well, let's just get this thing over with and we get back to normal. In the meantime, if you need your axe sharpened, call me up and we'll get you set up. And have a Merry Christmas. This is probably the last video I'll have before Christmas. So take care, peace. Please subscribe, like us on Facebook. Take care. Bye-bye.